So after the most recent Nintendo Direct, there were 3 games from that presentation that really blew me away. Number 1 being, of course, Super Mario Odyssey. That game is just a little over a month away, and the hype is really building up. Every single time Nintendo shows that title, it honestly steals the show from all of the other games, which is kind of unfair, but it's Mario, so yeah, that's gonna happen. Number 2 is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. An open-world RPG on the Switch, please. I mean, of course. And from Monolith. Monolith is one of the better developers of this generation, honestly. I don't know how they crank those games out so fast. I mean, Square Enix eat your heart out with that Final Fantasy series. But this game is looking clean. It's coming out this year, to a lot of people's surprise. I knew Nintendo was going to get this game out this year. It looks really good. And number 3, the game that we're going to be talking about today is Project Octopath Traveler. This game, oh boy, this game. So, it was originally shown during the Switch reveal when they first showed off the Nintendo Switch. And me and my good friend Phenom Sage, we reacted to that presentation, and we were blown away by this game. But I feel like not a lot of people are talking about it because, again, as I mentioned, they showed off Super Mario Odyssey, and that really just stole the show from anything else that they showed. I mean, there were a lot of great announcements during that, but Mario Odyssey, oh my god. But now, after the most recent Direct, I feel like a little bit more people are talking about this game. And to a lot of people's surprise, they actually released a demo shortly after the Direct. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I actually just beat the demo. I didn't get a chance to play it when it first released because I was busy with work and I've been sick. My voice is still a little messed up. But I just finished it now, and I need to talk about it. We got to talk about this thing. So first things first, I think the topic that's on everybody's mind is the graphics of this game, the art style, the art design. I mean, it is just outstanding and honestly unparalleled. I really can't think of another game that looks like this. It's just beautiful, and it's breathtaking, and it's so crazy because it's such a small game, and it's not like, oh, it's not Call of Duty, it's not Battlefield 1 or Battlefront coming out. It's not like that kind of graphical design. It's just, they actually thought of this. Like, they actually created this, and it's just really, really nice to look at. There was one other game that came out a few years ago. I think it's called like Pixel Dot Heroes or something like that, or RPG Heroes, or I can't remember. I'm going to put the title of it somewhere on the screen here so you guys know what I'm talking about. And that had a similar kind of retro HD feel, but this game just really takes it to the next level. So if you don't know what Project Octopath Traveler is, let me just jog your memory. It is basically a... So it's like, I would say it's honestly a throwback RPG. It really is an RPG in the vein of old school Final Fantasy. I compare it a lot to Final Fantasy IV or Final Fantasy III. It really falls in that category for me, or even Final Fantasy V and VI. Just like before 7, it really just kind of falls in that category, and it really works as that throwback type of RPG. But there's a lot of interesting aspects to this game that really kind of change it up. Now the title is Octopath, meaning 8 paths, and there's 8 characters that have different stories, and that's what really kind of got me excited when they first showed this game during the Direct, and it makes sense with the title and everything. I was like, oh, that's why it's called Octopath, that's cool. But yeah, in this demo, you get to play as 2 of the heroes, one of them being Primrose. She's this dancer type, she uses daggers, and she has one of her path actions being the Allure. And the second hero is Ulbrich. He is a retired knight. He's really, really strong. He uses a broadsword as well as a spear-type weapon. And his path action is challenged. So first, I'm going to talk about Primrose. I really liked Primrose. First things first. Oh boy. Oh baby. Waifu for laifu. I mean, it just looks... She's a beauty. She's a beaut. She's nice to look at. She's easy on the eyes. I'm not going to lie. But her story really took a dark turn. I was not... This is a very mature game, by the way. I actually wasn't expecting the game to delve in these types of themes. I mean, she's basically like this sort of slave girl that works for this really, really nasty guy that like slaps her around. She dances in this kind of pub place. And I was like, wow, I didn't think they'd go here. Like, this is such a... I was blown away by that. I really was. And another thing that surprised me, actually, and they didn't really show it during the Direct, is the voice acting. This game is fully... It's not fully voice acted, but the main cutscenes, like the main story chunks, are fully voice acted. And it's actually pretty good. It's good voice acting. I put my game into in Japanese, because I think the Japanese voices are slightly better. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the English voice actors aren't necessarily that good. I really did not like Ulgrich or whatever, the mean, you know, awful person in Primrose's story. I really didn't like his English dub, so I switched to the Japanese. Yeah, you should check out both though. They're both pretty good. It's fun to compare them too, because like they use like English accents and stuff in the English dub, so it's pretty cool. But her story really it went full circle. It really did. Like, it was just one nice story arc. And Ulbricht's was a little bit different. Ulbricht's I didn't really get that kind of gratification. With her story, okay, I'm just gonna go and say this right now. This is a spoiler if you haven't played the demo. It's just a demo. They even mention in the demo this is the very beginning of the game, so it's not really much of a spoiler. But one of the characters in Primrose's story, her name is Yusufa. She dies. Ulgrich, or whatever the hell his name is, kills her, and that's when I had to step back, and I was just like, what is happening right now? The stakes have been raised. You have to fight him as a boss. It was really intense. I don't know. I really liked the edge they just added there. Like, it was crazy, and it really caught me by surprise. And Primrose's actual gameplay too. I really like how she can allure the people. I really like that gameplay mechanic there. Her lure ability, I really enjoyed how she can make people follow her and actually aid her in battle as well. When I initially fought the boss, I didn't have anyone to help me out, so it was really, really tough, and I actually wasn't able to defeat him. So I decided to go back, buy some of the healing grapes, and get a villager to come with me and aid me in battle, and then I defeated the boss with ease, and that was really, really cool, kind of having that game mechanic there, and actually having each of the, like, I'm not for certain, but I believe that people have different skill levels. Like, if you make a knight follow you, obviously he's going to be a little more helpful in battle than just some lackey that's wandering around the village, or some homeless bum or something like that. So I really like that aspect as well. I'm not confirming that's true. I'm not sure if they all have the same strength, but I mean, it would make sense for it to be that way, and if it is that way, that is awesome. I actually enjoyed her allure ability a lot more than Ulbricht's challenge ability. I don't really get that one. I think that has more of a story aspect, and that's going to help you out later on in the game, not necessarily in the beginning. So the allure ability definitely was better than the challenge ability. But yeah, her actual story was fantastic, and I just have to say this right now: the music in this game, the OST is, oh my god, it is a special OST for sure. I didn't think the game would be orchestrated. Like, I was expecting kind of like 2D type music, you know, like old school 16-bit kind of thing. No, it's fully orchestrated, and it sounds absolutely wonderful. One of my favorite themes from the game so far was when you confront Ulbrich, or not Ulbrich, I can't remember his name, the big, fat, ugly-looking guy, the boss in Primrose's story. When you confront him, he kills Yusufa, and then this chilling theme plays. It's like on piano. It sounds outstanding. If I can find it on YouTube somewhere, I'll probably insert it in this video, and it'll be playing right now. But it is just so good. And it's probably, it's my favorite OST from this game. And then we have Ulbricht's story. Now, Ulbricht's story is a little bit more cliche RPG, and this is where I really got those Final Fantasy vibes. It wasn't as surprising as Primrose's story. I'm not saying that Primrose is the better character. She's probably the better character. But Ulbricht's story just wasn't that exciting for me. It was very cliche. He has a troubled past. He has... Oh, and that's another thing I should mention. Primrose's past is just crazy. Her father died by the Four Crow, or whatever, the Men of the Crow, with each of them had like a crow tattoo or whatever. That is so cool. That is straight out of an anime right there. I absolutely loved her backstory and her overall motive too. And even Ulbricht's, I liked his backstory. I liked how epic it was, and how there was this like knight that betrayed the king, and he wants to know why, he wants answers. I really like that. I don't know if every character, because there's 8 characters, there's 8 paths, I don't know if every character is going to have that type of story. I hope there's some variations with some of the other characters. I hope not all the characters are like trying to get vengeance or trying to figure out these answers. I hope some characters have a different type of story going about them. But anyway, Ulbricht's story is a little more cliche. Obviously, I just mentioned it earlier. We have this knight that betrays the king. He wants to find answers. He's held up in this village as a hired sword now. He trains some of the lackeys, and these bandits attack he decides to go rescue this kid that's kidnapped, and that's basically it. You have to rescue this kid, and then it turns out one of the, like, the Bandit King guy or whatever, he actually knew the knight that betrayed the king back in his past. And I liked it. I did. The one thing I liked about Ulbricht's story more than Primrose's was the combat. Primrose is not a fighter. I mean, like, even when I was just wandering around in that cave, or whatever that was, that weird, like, catacomb, those fights were just not that fun to me, because it was just taking hits, dealing hits, back and forth, back and forth. There just wasn't enough strategy there. I did like her magic and her abilities. Being able to use that dark magic was really, really cool. But with Ulbricht, there was a lot more variation. Being able to use the spear, being able to use the Fury, or whatever it was called, or Flurry. I really like that. Being able to go back and forth with that. And the boost system, too. The boost system was really, really well done. I didn't think I'd like it at first. I really didn't think it would add much edge to the fights when I saw it during the Direct. But I really liked it. I like how it moves up after each turn, and you gotta kind of strategize. Like, should I save one of those boost points for later? I should defend now, get a boost point, and then attack, because I'll be able to deal more damage and break one of their shields. And even when you're fighting a group of enemies, you break one of their shields, you get a chance to, like, kind of waste a turn in a way. Like, utilize a turn. Like, oh, I should use a grape right now, use a healing grape, so that, and he won't attack me because he's broken, and then basically I get a free turn. And I really, really like that strategy there. There's a lot here, for sure. And having a partner with you, too, like having Ulbricht and Primrose, well, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be so cool. Being able to come up with different strategies, and even some of the characters, you could see some of their abilities actually aid their allies as well. I know Ulbricht has one where he can defend for, or like block other people's attacks, that, like, if Primrose were to be hit by an enemy, Ulbricht can come in there and defend her, which is really, really cool. And I think Primrose actually has an ability that kind of, like, shields them from elemental damage, which is also really cool. And it's just classic RPG. It really is. It's straight out of the RPG handbook. It's nothing, like, you know, astronomical, out of the ordinary. It's nothing that fresh. It's just fresh enough for me to be intrigued. The boost system, the abilities, I really, really like the combat in this game. I'm not gonna lie. Turn-based RPGs are my favorite. I absolutely love them. The old school Final Fantasy titles, Final Fantasy 7, 6, 4, 3, 8, 9. I love those. 10's pretty good. I love those games so much because of the combat and the different variations they have. And I feel like that this is just another extension of that, and that makes me really, really happy. Now, let's talk about some concerns. Now, this is a demo. It's not perfect. Obviously, there's some things here that might be missing. One thing that I didn't really like, aside from, you know, the stories being kind of similar, and Ulbricht, I didn't really find a need for his challenge ability, except when it was needed in the story, which I'm sure will be touched on later. Allura was just much more useful for Primrose as a character. But my one concern is I just wish there was kind of more to do around the environment. Now, I like the traversal in the game. I like the cave that you had to go through. I love the cobblestone kind of mountain that you had to climb as Ulbricht. That was a beautiful, beautiful, you know, scene there. It looked really, really cool. But, like, in the villages, I wish there was, like, more you could kind of do. Like, it needs more charm. It looks very, very charming, but being able to interact with the world would be very nice. Say you walk inside of a house, you could, like, click on something, like press A on say, a pot, and it could be like, this is a pot of oil that's probably used to light up torches. Like, I just need some, I don't know, it's like quality of life stuff. Just little things like that add a lot of charm to RPGs. I feel like that's missing here, and it's not just about pots and stuff, but there was even I can't remember, it was like a pub or something, like an eatery place in Ulbricht's village. You go in there, it's empty, there's nobody there, and you just see, like, food sitting on a table. I'm like, what? Like, that, I mean, like, there's no one here? Like, I'm expecting to get some side quests here. By the way, Primrose's, that Sunshade Village place, Sunshade Town, was way cooler than, Primrose's story was just a lot better. Her path was just a lot more enjoyable to me than Ulbricht's. And Ulbricht's wasn't bad, it's just, there was just a lot more interesting things happening in her story. But again, I just want to see some more interaction there. Even the ends, like, you can't actually walk in an end. You just walk up to the door, rest, or exit. That's it. Some places you can walk into. I don't need every house to be able to walk into, but again, I just would like to see some interaction there. And another thing is, I kind of wish in the demo that we can meet up. I know you can meet up, I believe. There is a way you can go to Sunshade and meet up with Primrose or vice versa, But I don't know. I wish they kind of showed off more team-based combat, because I feel like that is where the meat of the strategy comes from. This was very bare bones and very basic. And I'm not even gonna lie, it took me a few tries to take out that Bandit King in Ulbricht's story. And if I just had a partner with me, that would have been much more fun. It was very fun. It was fun taking him on, coming up with strategies, using those healing grapes, using those boost points. I really, really like that. But if I just had like Primrose on my side, I feel like it'd be much more fun utilizing that magic, blocking for her, protecting her, healing each other. Like, that is where the meat is of this game, I can tell. And I'm excited to see what they do with the combat when it involves teams. Now, I don't know how the story is going to be structured when it comes to these paths. Are they going to cross? Is there going to be some crossing of these paths? Or are we just going to be doing these standard stories and maybe one intersects, but then eventually goes back to that main narrative there? I kind of want every path to cross. I want everyone to cross into this one goal where they have to, like, save the world or something. Because that's what you got to do in an RPG, right? You got to save the world from a demon crystal, right? That's standard RPG business. That's in the RPG handbook. The crystals, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm also excited to see... anyway, yeah, I hope that we get more character interactions as well, because I think that would be really cool. But one thing that I'm really curious about is other people's path abilities. Now, we have Challenge from Ulbricht, we have Allure from Primrose. We have to have a thief. We have to have somebody that can steal items from people. I feel like that is pretty much mandatory. But I can't really think of other... If every single character, all 8 characters, are going to have a path action, that's going to add some very unique gameplay styles for sure, and I'm excited to see what other path actions are going to be in this game. I mean, I can imagine, like, you know, thieving, stealing around, I can imagine that, but what else could be there? I thought of one, maybe like bartering, where you could, like, trade with strangers and travelers, and maybe you could find some special items or something like that, but other than that, I can't really think of other ones that they could use. Comment down below and let me know if you could come up with any ideas for other characters' path actions, because that is another big meaty, you know, part of the game there that really kind of changes it up from other RPGs. All in all, I thoroughly enjoyed this demo. It's a big demo. They let you play. It's a good, like, 2 hours at least. I feel like it took me, like, maybe like an hour and 10 minutes for Primrose's, although I was taking my time on both. And Ulbricht's was a little bit shorter because it had just less dialogue and less story happening. But the combat was much more meatier and much more tough. So, I don't know. I feel like Ulbricht had better gameplay, but Primrose had better story and more interesting things happening. If those two were to cross over, as I mentioned earlier, you'd have a perfect RPG, in my opinion. And is that what this game could be? Could this be the RPG of this generation? I don't really know. To be totally honest, I don't. And what is this game going to be titled? When you finish the demo, it says, "Thank you for playing Project Octopath." No, it doesn't even say Project. It just says Octopath Traveler. So just call it Octopath Traveler. That sounds really cool. Just call it that. Just drop the project. Stop working on the title and just title this game already. Anyway, this game is outstanding. If you have not played the demo, it is free on the Nintendo Switch eShop. By the way, if you play this game in handheld mode, it just makes it so much more special to me. Like, it's so nice, just like snuggling up in bed under your blankets, playing this game with the headphones in. It's very, very nice, and I highly recommend it. It looks beautiful on the TV too, don't get me wrong. Again, all in all, I enjoyed this demo. I am very excited to see more of this title. I hope it comes out early 2018, like January, I'm hoping. But yeah, it was very, very good. Play it, give me your thoughts down in the description below. I'd love to talk to you guys about it. I'd love to see if you did any other variations in gameplay if you found. I'm sure there's secrets in this demo too. I know there's more you can do after you finish the initial main quest of each of the characters. So yeah, comment down below, give me your thoughts, hit that like button if you enjoyed anything that I had to talk about, and of course subscribe for more content like this. Yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.